welcome to the news show. If you've been under rock for the past 3 days, then allow me to help you catch up with 9 news stories from the past 3 days. Let's begin.
TryHard News.
Okay, for Thursday, the first story is the Philippines Dota 2 team has actually secured $500,000 or roughly 23 million pesos in winnings for the international tournament. In an upset, the Philippines TNC Gaming has beat the United States OG team. It is still possible for them, however, to return with even larger prizes, for the tournament is not over yet. Actually, esports has gotten quite large, trumping the possible prize pools of even other traditional sports. Okay, for the next bit of news, let me show you a video of how a 5-year-old kid got run over in the street in a report by 24 Horas. The things I want you to pay attention to is, number 1, the speed of the car, number 2, where the kid came from, and number 3, the driver's attempt to steer to the right to avoid the kid. So the big question here is the driver at fault? Well, I had the privilege of talking to a lawyer, and it seems like if there were to be a case against the driver, the case would be reckless imprudence. For reckless imprudence, for a case to be made, they have to show that the driver is negligent. However, in the driver's defense, he could prove that he was not reckless. He was not moving fast, his car was in the right place, keeping a distance between him and the truck. The kid actually ran into him as he swerved right. The kid also followed forward instead of stopping. So from the video alone, it kinda shows that the driver exhausted all means to prevent this accident. So the question I asked the lawyer was, in your professional opinion, do you think that there is a case against the driver? And do you think if the case was filed by the parents of the kid against the driver, will the case be fruitful? And in the professional opinion of the lawyer, he said he does not think so. Based on the video alone, we can see that the driver was not going fast. He attempted to dodge the kid, which came from a place where he could barely see suddenly and without warning. We can see that the car was maintaining proper distance from the truck in front of him, and we can see the driver immediately got out of the car and attempted to call attention to the accident. The lawyer said, had it been a legitimate hit-and-run case, the driver would have left the car immediately and left the area without bringing attention to the scene. But as you can see in the video, the driver is extremely distraught. His mind is probably going 5,000 miles a minute, and we have no idea what he went to do as he exited the camera's view on the left. But one thing is certain, he did call attention to the accident before leaving the scene. But I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Do you think the driver is at fault here? Do you think it is no one's fault? Or maybe probably the parents' fault for letting a 5-year-old kid wander the streets like that? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on, I wanted to show you a cool video of college humor and their take on PC culture. Take a look over here.
So when Katie gets here, I'll start the intervention.
You're gonna lead it? Not a professional? That's a little ghetto.
What, ghetto?
Well, I can't say ghetto anymore.
Personally, what I think is, although hilarious, I kinda have to agree with college humor on this, where we're living in a day and age where we pretty much can't say anything anymore without offending somebody, and some people even go out of their way to be offended by some things. So personally, I am gonna be saying offensive shit. I know it's gonna be offensive, and I'm gonna have to agree with the line in the video that says, I don't wanna live in a world where every word is a landmine. Moving on, in Friday's news, Japan is actually funding a $2.4 billion railway project here in the Philippines. The railway is set to connect Manila and Bulacan, and this is great news for a country that loses $64 billion a day in traffic. Now, some people may think for news like this that Japan is just giving the money away for free, but the truth is, It's actually a loan. Most projects like this are loans payable within an extended amount of time. This loan specifically is for 40 years. But there's no reason to be getting angry about this because it's common for third world countries like this to borrow money in order to fund expansionary economics. We use this money to invest in infrastructure that will pay off in the future. We use the succeeding economic benefit to pay back the loan and still enjoy the infrastructure that we got from taking out the loan. So this is a great project, but I actually do very much support building railways outside of Manila. I do support the centralization of Manila. You see, by building trains, we're able to move congestion away from Manila. By building trains into adjacent provinces, people who need to get to their high-paying jobs in Manila are able to live in a different place, further reducing the population in Manila. Also, because of the people who are living in the different places, this will promote businesses and economic activity to pop up in these outside areas in order for them to grow. This is how Tokyo does it, where thousands and thousands of people take the train from outside of Tokyo into Tokyo in order to get to their jobs and leave the jobs in the end of the day to go back to their homes, which is located far away. This reduces the population in Tokyo and allows the city to be more or less uncongested and not overpopulated. For the next bit of news, do you remember that viral video of the judge who recognized one of her old classmates in court?
Mr. Booth, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to Nautilus for middle school?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry to see you here. I always wondered what happened to you, sir.
Oh my goodness.
This is the nicest kid in middle school.
Well, there's actually an update to this story. So as we can see here, the guy is actually out of jail. He reunites with the judge and he promises to do better and fix his life, get a job, get better. And I hope this experience really turns around his life.
You take care of your family, try and get a job, stay clean. You're going to do something good for somebody else. That's what you got to do.
You better believe it. She's the inspiration and motivation to me right now. She just seeing Mindy is incredible. Because I know where I could have been. But I'm not giving up on life. It's just a new leaf on life for me right now.
He had a good judge who wanted to give him a chance. This is a group effort to see you succeed. Don't let us down.
I won't. I promise not to.
And this is the thing with the people who go to jail. The ultimate goal here is not to completely just kick them out of society, but actually to reintegrate them, to allow them to become proper functioning members of the community. In the next bit of news, we have SM Mall of Asia's giant globe to be colored up to look like a Pokeball. This is in celebration of the country's largest lure party in Pokemon Go in various malls from August 12, 5 to 9 p.m. And I tell you, this is really great for business. Personally, if I could play Pokemon, I would be there during that lure party in one of the participating malls and I'd probably be catching Pokemon left, right, and center. Moving on to news for Saturday, if you can remember, I did a small story on how Pokemon is now issuing soft bans. But now, Niantic is cracking down harder and issuing hard permanent bans to the people who would use these cheating methods. Like I said, those popular cheating methods are GPS spoofing using third-party software in order to capture and locate Pokemon. In my personal opinion, this is a great move by Niantic to clean up the game and make the community more enjoyable for everybody. Next thing I want to talk to you about is this viral photo going up on social media. Gonna need some coffee for this. So this is a picture by News Info Manila. It reads, "The curious case of human rights advocates. Michael Ciaron, drug pusher, ngumawa sila sa pagkamatay niya." And on the other side, Remedios Pedrano, law-abiding citizen, hinold up at pinatay pero nasaan ang human rights advocates. Now personally, I think this picture is stupid. We cannot compare the two because the root of the crime is different. For Pedrano's case, of course, everybody is against what happened. There is no organized ideology that pushed for this. Just one asshole who wanted some money, unfortunately at the expense of her life. But there was no organized pro-hold-upper movement that we can rally against. But for Ciaron's case, the ideology of all drug pushers must be killed is at the root of his death. It's an ideology commonly accepted nowadays which breeds these vigilantes to come forward. This ideology is what the human rights activists are trying to fight against. I can make a similarly biased poster by sticking Roman Clifford Manoy's face on it. Remember that 20-year-old student graduating from a seaman's course who was unjustly killed because he was near a drug pusher that got shot? The same guy who in an autopsy came out completely clean? What if I make a poster that says, "Michael Ciaron, pro-vigilantes, Todo Soporta versus Ramon Manois, mga pro-vigilante, asan na kayo? See? Equally biased and equally terrible. So the takeaway here is nobody is condoning any sort of killing. Nobody wants people to die, obviously. But we have the opportunity to speak up against an ideology that is potentially fatal for a lot of people, innocent and not. I'm running out of camera battery, so for the last bit of news, check out this super cringy parody video of Hillary Clinton. Check it out over here.
Here come that boy. Just kidding, it's me, Hillary.
God, it's cringe, but that's where I'm gonna have to end the show. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Here, check out our other videos, and see ya in 3 days.